Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Furo here, and we will play some more Gwent today. I was finally coming around to try out another NILFGAARD leader, so it is time for some John Calveit and his army of spies today. The NILFGAARD leader John Calveit is featuring an interesting NILFGAARD only deck theme, which is to take advantage of spy units on your opposing side of the field. The ability of John allows you to move all non-gold spy units on your opponent's side to your own side of the battlefield. So to take full advantage of this specific effect, we are of course running the whole lot of spy units that are exclusively to the NILFGAARD faction. The deck in general is going full brute force style. You're not playing a massive amount of different units on your own side, but instead using only a few which will get some decent points on them and then survive multiple rounds. For the buff parts, you are running, for example, the Ambassador here. This spy unit will give you a unit on your side plus 12 points equals a net win of 10 points. The more spies you are playing, the better it's getting for your high point hitter bronze unit, the Impera Brigade. For every spying unit, this one is getting plus 3 points. On average, your opponent should have between 2 and 5 spies on his side, which will then lead to 6 to 15 extra points on the brigade. For a bronze unit, that is a really high number. A huge part in winning the game for you is the ability to resilence units. Resilence means that they will stay on the battlefield for the next round as well, and because you're running such high point hitters, keeping them alive for another round is vital for the victory. To give a unit resilience, the NILFGAARD faction has the ability to use the unit Combat Engineer. With 3 copies of the Engineer in the deck, you have plenty of tools to keep your board healthy, plus the additional Decoy that we are running could give you another use on the card. Speaking of Decoy, this one is excellent to use on the Operator, which should then give you another Canderella. Canderella is another spy unit worth 12 points for your opponent, but also giving yourself 1 card. If you can manage to create 2 copies of her, she's definitely providing you with plenty of card and point advantage that should give you the victory in 1 round easily. The star of the deck and the reason to play it right now in this meta is the gold card Letho. This unit can be used on all rows, including your opponent's side, and he will banish 3 units on the row he is played. Banish is a huge difference to destroying in Gwent, and if you're up against Skillik, for example, playing this one on the melee row with Morgvark, Olgier and the Roach in it, you will banish then all 3 units, take them completely out of the game. A unit that was banished is not going into the graveyard, but instead vanishes completely. This is an ideal counter to decks like Skillik Discard and super fun to disrupt some strategies. Of course, your opponent is getting the point on the Letho, so to prevent that you are not only running the D-Bomb in the deck but also the Shackles. Both are good to drop the Letho down to silver and then you are allowed to steal him with your leader ability. While I did not have the highest win rate with the deck so far, it is definitely a deck to consider and might go up with some more training, cause in my experience it is a deck that is tougher to play rightful in comparison to some other stuff on the ladder. To give you a better clue, I will now show you a bit of gameplay, so here we go. So for the first game we are facing a King Bran deck here, so we might just face the right one that we want to target. Let's see, we have the Letho here, which is excellent. We have the Cartherius, the Joachim, one Impera, which is good. Definitely want to keep the Shackles here for the Letho. And with the Decoy, could play Combat Engineer again. So I think we will drop one of the Combat Engineers. Getting the Emissary, which is fine. So I guess the rest is just staying the way it is. Let's finish here. Opponent needs to start, so we will see what he's doing here. Starting with the War Longship, so definitely discarding quite a lot. And we will play the Joachim, giving him 5 points. We're getting the Impera Brigade, which is getting buffed by the Joachim, and also because of the Spy, getting another 3 extra points. We'll have the NFR, that's the Roach. Fortunately the Roach is not coming into the melee row, that would be way better. We are now playing the Emissary.
A shame I have no time.
Getting another one, oh, triples. And the Combat Engineer, which is then hitting the Brigade. This one is right now staying on the board for the next round. That is 16 points at the moment. plant him in pirate. Just need to wait for the King Bran. And probably we are waiting for the next round. If he's going for Morkvark and Olgierd, because then we can also get rid of the Olgierd. Have to wait and see for that. We will now go for our gold card. We're looking at the top 3 cards. There is a Skirmisher, there is a Bomb, and there's Alba Sunder. So what do we want to drop down here? I guess the Bomb is the most dangerous. If we have some high cost units here. Yeah, the Bomb is going down to the bottom of the deck. He's now using his leader ability. So what will we see? Wow, all the hits on the Impera, and he's not getting anything on the board. Well, there is the Olgierd. And he was dropping Skirmisher and the Archer. So he might have the Morkvark in hand, or he's not playing that, which would be very unusual. So anyway, we will go for the Ambassador. Buffing the Roach. And now the Roach is getting hit by the Yennefer. We have seen one Alba Sunder at the top of his deck. So there might not be another one in his hand, and that's why the Brigade should be pretty safe at the moment. Hermione, drawing 2, discarding 2. The War Longship is then dealing another 4 points, most likely, in damage. There's a Morkvark, which is definitely a nice steal here. But for now, we are still waiting. We'll drop one more Ambassador. This time buffing the Impera Brigade. Currently, he is 3 points ahead.
Come on, quick now.
Yeah, please buff that. That's more points on the Letho. We will go for another Brigade. 24 points, down to 23. And then we will go for another Combat Engineer, getting the 23 also on board. Exit Reaver. Ooh, yeah, please the Olgierd. No, Skirmisher. Was look like he was picking up the Olgierd here situation, but this one I also like to eat for sure. So anyway, the Combat Engineer is now also making sure that the Brigade is staying on board for the next round. So at the moment we have 40 points for the next round. There's another Shieldsmith. We will now, let's see, we could also play the Combat Engineer again to also keep the Roach on the board. But I guess for now we're waiting. We are dropping the Letho first. We're getting rid of the Morkvark. We're getting rid of the Skirmisher, and then we need to eat one of the spy units. Doesn't really matter. Eat the 2 points. So he's losing those. And he is continuing. We're now using the Shackles on the Letho. And then we can just go for the John. And probably the Combat Engineer on the Letho with the most points here. Even better than the Roach. Let's see if he's going to continue. He's going to continue. So picking up the Skald, apparently. And he needs to do that here in the back row. So there's a little buff. We are still stealing everything. So that's a lot of points on our side now. 53 to 108, 107. Yennefer's hitting us. He's still playing further. Interesting. So the Archer is not doing enough. Hitting us for 3 points. We're still far ahead. We'll then use the Engineer again with the Decoy. So the Letho is also coming back on the next round. And then we have nearly 60 points just from the start for the next round. You would need then Geralt Igni and hit those so that he can kill those 2 units. So yeah, please hit that. That would be great. What are you doing? Interesting choice. So we're going for the Combat Engineer. And the Letho is also staying on board now. Yennefer is hitting him down to 20. We will now just pass. There's Geralt Igni. Alright. So that gives him a little advantage. It's 1 point. Yennefer's hitting us for 1. So we have a draw. But he's out of cards. And we are keeping the 16 points. While he's getting the Olgierd.
A moment. I need to smoke.
First light. Candarella. Not sure if I like the Candarella right now. But we'll see. Gas. Guess. I had 12 points on his side. I don't like that too much. We are dropping this one. Getting... that's definitely better. That is definitely better. So we are going for the Wilkeforts here. That is spawning the roach. We are killing the roach and getting another card, which is hopefully better than the roach. The operator, unfortunately, nothing to copy here. 36 points.
Modern Freyr is patient.
Hey, a priestess. He's getting probably the shieldsmith. Yeah, shieldsmith should be your best choice in this situation. That will be then 8 points for him on top. This is not that many points. Should go for the shieldsmith. And the skirmisher that was in the graveyard is gone, so we can't pick that. Yeah, pick up the shieldsmith. Best one.
Come on, quick now.
Still 14 points behind, so the last card needs to give them 14 points. And our card should not give us any sort of points, but we will see about that. So, rally. We're getting the combat engineer, which is fine, but not helping us that much, but we're getting 4 points. So we now need to have 18 points. That is not happening, so we're winning the game. Let's go for game 2, and we have another NILFGAARD as an opponent, which is using a different leader, so we will not expect the same deck here. Let's see what we will redraw. We have an operator here, which is alright, I would say. We will see about that. So we might just... nothing to copy right now. I'm not sure if we want to keep the operator in the situation, especially against the NILFGAARD. Guess we're dropping this one. We're getting another combat engineer, which is fine. We have double ambassadors, and we have the Alba Spearman. So with that, we should be able to buff the Spearman and then keep it alive on the board. Wilkeforts is nice. Letho should be nice. Right now, there is no chance to get the Letho back on our side, but we will see if we can find the right one. So let's start with this one. Opponent needs to start. There's the Orquist, which is alright. Right now, if we drop the Spearman here, the Orquist would hit the Spearman. So not too bad. Let's start with this one.
Thick gravy. Please wait, Your Excellency.
Emissary, Rod Tosser, which is then right now killing the Emissary. If he's getting rid of the Emissary, the cow would kill the Alba Spearman. That is a different effect. That is not a strength removing effect, but he will just kill it. So that's not the same, unfortunately. Can't really drop the ambassador. If we're hitting the cow or the Emissary, that is not too great. We would lose the points. So let's play something different. We'll just do the decoy here on the cow and give him that back. So he would lose right now the Rod Tosser. Wouldn't be that bad. Yeah, I guess we're doing that. Guardian Knight, there is another Rod Tosser. Always dangerous. Always dangerous. Which on the other hand means if we are playing the Ambassador and we are, for example, buffing the Emissary, then the Rod Tosser would kill the Alba Spearman. Definitely not a nice play. In the worst case scenario, we can of course use the Letho on also on our own side. That is always a possibility. For now, let's use the Ambassador. We are buffing the Emissary, killing the Rod Tosser here. So we have 19 to 21 points. The Orquist is getting activated in 1 round.
Barbarians.
He is deciding to go for Combat Engineer on the NILFGAARD Knight, up to 11 points now. So that can be killed, for example, with the Letho. They would then not keep the 11 points for the next round. We will see how that is going. For now, let's drop the Emissary. We're getting the Impera Brigade, which is 12 points. Now 11 points. The Orquist is hitting that down. The Alba Spearman is losing. He's losing his shield. And look at that. He has played the treason, stealing the Emissary. That is mean. So buffing the Brigade again. can expect that he's using the Rod Tosser anytime soon, and then probably using the Wilkerford on that. So he's going for the Orquist. We will play the Joachim. Getting another brigade. That is now 26 points worth it. Which is definitely good. There comes the Rod Tosser. He's using the cow. We will go for the Wilkerford. We are killing the cow. Also getting another card aboard. The roach is definitely also spawning. And we are getting the bomb, which is fine on the Emissary. Bring that down to 2 points. So right now we have a huge advantage. Hopefully he keeps on playing. Otherwise we definitely want to play the Combat Engineer. He's going for that. Ambassador. So we will now drop the Combat Engineer. And we will start to buff the resilience with on the Impera Brigade, on the smaller one. Because if he has a Cavalry, right now that would kill the 26 points, but not the 23. And we're only losing right now 3 points. That should be okay. There's Siri. And at the moment he would get the Siri. Would keep the NILFGAARD Knight for 11 points, getting the Siri. We would play another Combat Engineer, so also keeping the 26 points. And now he is passing. So that means we are also passing. We're keeping 49 points for the second round. And we have the opportunity to go for the Letho and banish those 2 cards. We could now replace a card. But do we want to? I don't think so, because the Letho is great, Stefan is great if we need to play a third round. And Emissary is a spy unit, and we still haven't played our leader ability, so we can get this spy unit on our side. And we will start with this one. Getting Combat Engineer, great success, so we will keep the 23 points here again for the next round. If we're not going for the Letho. Need to see what we are doing. Combat Engineer on the NILFGAARD Knight. So why not play the Stefan now? And we will see. Probably this one is the strongest to pick. Ambassador would give us plus 10 points. Oh, we are going for the Thartheos. This one is now at the top of our deck. So we are drawing this one for sure at the start of the next round. We're just picking one of our bronze units, which is another Combat Engineer. And he's keeping the 4 points on board. But he's still far behind. We're using the leader ability, which might now be the only chance to do that. We're getting the 2 points, so nothing too fancy.
Onward, sons of NILFGAARD!
Yield and save me some time.
Assyria again. So let's see. Right now we have 40 points advantage. We could, for example, use the Letho here to eat those units. But the question is, will he kill one of those? Right now it doesn't look like it. He will keep 15 points for the next round. We could use the Letho on the NILFGAARD Knight. Then he's only getting 4 points for the last round. He definitely needs to play more cards here. The Letho is only giving him 1 point extra. So I would say we are doing this.
I'm coming for you.
So he needs to overcome 40 points. There is another medic going for the ambassador, buffing the medic, and he still needs 27 more points. Can you do that? Normally that would cost him all 2 cards. Yeah, the cleaver is getting rid of the resilient and just another concede. That's how we roll, guys. And as you could see, when the deck is working, it is really fun. You can disrupt quite a few strategies with it. So try it out and give me feedback. What you would change, what you like about the deck, what you don't like about the deck. Post that in the comment section on YouTube, and I will be back with a new Gwent episode quite soon. So subscribe to the channel to get notified when we'll upload more content. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully see you in the next Gwent episode. Bye bye, guys.